Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series on operating system. I am Mrs. Gitanjali Mahamodkar, lecturer and research scholar at Department of Computer Engineering, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, Lonero. The books that I have referred for this lecture series are Operating System Concepts by Galvin and Operating System by Achyut Godbole and Atul Kahate. This is the 7th lecture in this lecture series. It is titled Android Operating System. For the previous videos, please visit my YouTube channel Learn with GSM. In this lecture, you will be able to describe Android operating system, explain the Android architecture, state the benefits of Android operating system. Now, what basically is an Android operating system? Android operating system is a open source mobile operating system developed by the Open Handset Alliance led by Google. It is a open source operating system created by Google specifically for use on mobile devices, that is cell phones and tablets. It can be programmed in C or C++, but most app development is done in Java. It supports Bluetooth, Wi-Fi and 3G and 4G networking. If we consider the Android architecture, then it is just a software stack. Each layer of the stack and the corresponding elements within each layer are tightly integrated and carefully tuned to provide the optimal application development and execution environment for mobile devices. So you can say Android is a software stack for mobile devices that includes an operating system, middleware and key applications. It is basically based on Linux kernel. Let us move on to the first component in this architecture, that is Android architecture. Now Android applications, you have Android provides a set of core applications to start with: email client, SMS program, calendar, maps, browser and contacts. Now all these applications are written using the Java language. The application framework is used for enabling and simplifying the reuse of components, and developers have full access to the same framework APIs used by the core applications. Users are allowed to replace components. So this is what is like you have other things related to application framework, like you have different features related to application framework. Some of the important blocks in Android are activity manager, which manages the activity life cycle and life cycle of applications and provides a common navigation backstack. Then you have content providers, which manage the data sharing between applications, and content providers enable applications to access data from other applications such as contacts or to share their own data. Next is telephony manager, which manages all voice calls. We use telephony manager if we want to access voice calls in our application. Then you have location manager. Location management is done using GPS or cell tower. And resource manager, which manage the various types of resources we use in our application. It provides access to non-code resources such as localized strings, graphics and layout files. You have notification manager, which enables all applications to display custom alerts in the status bar. Also view system, underlying all applications is a set of services including views. So it can be used to build an application including lists, grids, text boxes, buttons and even an embeddable web browser. Now the next component in the Android software stack is libraries. Let us see what, and which is again the part of it is Android runtime, which both will see further. Libraries used in Android, it is a set of C or C++ library used by various components of the Android system, and they are tuned for embedded Linux based devices. Then you have media libraries based on Packet Video's open core. The libraries support playback and recording of many popular audio and video formats as well as static image files. Then you have Surface Manager which manages access to the display subsystem and seamlessly composites 2D and 3D graphic layers from multiple applications. You have LibWeb Core, a modern web browser engine which powers both the Android browser and an embeddable web view. SGL or 3D libraries. SGL is underlying 2D graphics engine, and then you have SQLite, a powerful and lightweight relational database engine available to all applications. So libraries include a set of C or C++ libraries used by components of the Android system, and it is exposed to developers through the Android application framework. Next, to talk about Android runtime system, which provides core set of class libraries to ensure smooth platform for developers. With these libraries, developers can easily import required libraries into their applications without doing any hard coding in applications. So Android includes a set of core libraries that most of the functionality available in the core libraries of the Java programming language. Every Android application runs in its own process with its own instance of the Dalvik virtual machine, and the Dalvik virtual machine executes files in the Dalvik executable, that is .dex format. And nowadays we have Android runtime, which is a successor of Dalvik virtual machine, and ART has completely replaced DVM after the we have Android Lollipop version, right? After the KitKat version, in the KitKat version, you just had you can say a beta version in which it was checked for its performance, and then after KitKat, in the Lollipop version, the DVM was completely replaced by Android runtime. Next in the stack is Linux kernel. Linux kernel provides low-level interface with the hardware and memory management process control. It has various device drivers like display driver, Wi-Fi driver, audio drivers. You have inter-process communication, that is binder drivers. You have Bluetooth driver, camera driver, and flash memory driver, and other management systems like power management, process management, memory management. So these all come in the Linux kernel layer or stack of the software stack. Then moving on to Android SDK features, which includes Android APIs, core of the SDK. SDK stands for Software Development Kit. Then development tools, and it has no licensing, distributions or development fees or release approval processes. You have GSM, Edge and 3G networks for telephony and data transfer, and full media hardware control. APIs for using sensor hardware including accelerometer and the compass is included in the SDK. You also have APIs for location based services of Android as software development kit. So talking about Android applications, which they get distributed in a .apk file, where APK stands for Android package, and it is a simply a zip file that has a particular file structure, and it contains the Android manifest file, an XML file with lots of metadata, a resource bundle containing sounds, graphics, etc., and the Dalvik classes that make up user application. So if we want to discuss the benefits of Android, it is first, it is an open and free development platform. Handset makers can use it without royalty and customize to their heart's content. We have component based architecture of Android, which is again a benefit because lots of default components can be replaced straightforwardly. The proponents of Android point to the following benefits, like lots of services are provided like location, SQL, maps, web, etc., and the applications are well managed because they are isolated from each other to protect data and provide security. Operating system can quit programs as needed to ensure good performance on mobile devices, And portability is one of the advantage, because to support a new device, a company has to port the virtual machine and Android apps, that is a Dalvik virtual machine, then execute on the new device with little or to no modification at all. So this was all about Android. Let us revise what we have covered in this video. We have seen what is an Android operating system, what is its architecture, what are the software development kit features, what is Android package, and of course Android benefits. So if you have understood it properly, you will be easily able to answer all these questions, explain Android operating system, explain the Android architecture, state the benefits of Android operating system, and the different Android software development kit features. So if you have liked this video, do not forget to hit like, leave your comments below, and share this video as much as you can. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you.